Hello and welcome to another update video about Ethereum. Today we see some weakness in the market. Obviously, I did mention earlier today we have to expect some volatility today. Not much going on yet. Okay, we see a little bit of a sell-off, and Bitcoin is also sold off a bit, but not major volatility yet. But still, you know, we had Jerome Powell's speech. We have PPI data tomorrow. We've got CPI data. And that just all, you know, creates some short-term fluctuations, not necessarily anything meaningful. Typically, these simply lead to a continuation of the trend that's already unfolding or accelerate what was supposed to happen anyway, okay? I mean, at the moment, the situation here on the ETH chart is pretty much unchanged. We have not broken any support. What I have done earlier today, I have added a resistance area, which is between $3,038 and $3,141. This is the standard resistance area for a wave 2. I'm not entirely sure if this 1-2 already finished, okay, in our short-term bearish count, or if this is the 1-2. I've added the resistance area to incorporate them both, so it really takes a break above 3,141 to reduce the selling pressure. At the moment, there is quite a lot of downside pressure, and my assumption is downside, one second. Okay, so downside is expected to basically continue until we break above resistance. The downside pressure is high. I have to say though, we haven't broken yet to the downside, and the level that I mentioned earlier today is still holding, and that's the red line, which is the low point from the 1st of May. So the 1st of May low is critical for the red count. Red, I've highlighted it in red just sort of to indicate it needs to prove itself. In the red scenario, what you can see here is that's the short-term bullish count basically, but it needs to prove itself. It doesn't have there's no setup for it, no clear setup. What I mean with that is there is no 5-wave move to the upside that we could use as a short-term jump-off point, okay? Typically what we want to see, 5 waves up, 3 waves down, that is then the jump-off point. The 3-wave pullback would generate a higher low, and the 5-wave move up would indicate that we're already going up, but we don't want to buy at the end of the first 5 waves, we want to buy the pullback, in theory, okay? Now, this here is, at best, a diagonal pattern in which we have 3 waves, so it doesn't really give me a great sense of where it wants to go. Very neutral, okay, and also here 3-wave rally. There might have been 5, but there's nothing down here that indicates the start of a rally. And then here again a pullback, and this actually looks more like 5 waves down, okay, and essentially you would need some kind of a micro 5-wave move up to indicate we are starting the C wave. We're not doing that at the moment. It can happen, but if we rally from here, I would first watch for a more extended wave 2 as an A, B, C to test resistance. But if we get a break above 3,141, then we can get more serious about the C wave. Basically, we're very close to an invalidation point of the red, more bullish count, which would send us higher. This is always good for anybody who wants to, potentially get positioned with low risk, because the invalidation point is very close. Doesn't necessarily mean this is a high probability setup, but it indicates, okay, it doesn't take much to invalidate it. The stop can be quite tight, but again, it's not high probability. Actually, I'm looking for further downside until red proves itself. The trend is still down, don't forget, and we have seen only consolidation since that move down. And the white scenario indicates how we could see the price drop to around about 2,400 and 2,500. That's nothing new. We talked about in the last few days. So if you think that's scary, there's nothing new about this, okay? But it just takes a break below that 1st of May low, a convincing break, to confirm that. So ultimately, not much has changed. We're just moving within a range, but see some downside pressure today. So hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.